Okay, next up, and actually building on Adrian's Be Informed, we've actually got Jane Grant. Jane is owner and co-founder of the recently formed AMAS Murison Limited. That's a new unique team of chartered accountants and chartered management accountants, and they're one of the leading digital accountancy firms in Scotland. So owning your own future relies on you making good decisions, and good data will definitely help with that. So Jane's going to explore, how to have confidence in that financial data to help you with your choices going forward. And that starts with, what can she offer to free up your time to do more value-added activities. So she's going to have a wee look at automating your bookkeeping processes. So over to you, Jane.
Thanks very much. Hi everyone. I'll just share my screen. Okay, I'm Jane Grant, from the co-founder, as Jim said, of AMAS Murison. And what we specialise in funding, digitisation and compliance. And digitisation is a really a passionate area of mine that I'd like to share with you what I've learned through my journey over the number of years, and just see what you want to take from there. So I'll go into presentation mode, hold on a sec. So that's Simon and I, as you can see. So we're going to talk about digitisation today. I think there's a bit of understanding associated with what digitisation really means for businesses. It's from an accounting standpoint and from an information standpoint, it's about business information, digitisation and the automation of that. So what I thought I would start off with is really looking at a definition of what business information, business intelligence actually is. So it's a technology that's driven a process for analysing your data and presenting it. And we've got so much technology out there that will take information from various spaces. And what that does is it automates it and it condenses it into a ball of information. And that information we can use, and it helps executive managers and other users to make decisions. And this is what technology and digitisation is all about. We've embraced this space for a number of years. I've worked in corporates prior to being in business. 18 years ago, I started in business, but I've always been really forward thinking and what we need to do from, yes, we've got all this information, we've achieved this, we've got the accounts coming in, but this is where we are, but where do we want to be? And it's a wonderful space to be in. From an AMU standpoint, we've got data analytics and blockchain accreditation, so we're way ahead of the curve. We just make sure that we're giving you the best and moving you forward from the best place. This graph was given to me by the Chamber of Commerce, the Scottish Chamber of Commerce. It's a government slide, and what we do a lot of funding in the research and development area, and it's really quite important that you can see where we are. If you look at what we as a nation, given our gross domestic product, which is the amount that we actually make as a combined UK economy, you can see what we spend in research and development to move our businesses forward, to move forward on a worldwide platform. And you can see here, right from 2001 right up to 2017, that Scotland is hovering away down the bottom. And I share this slide in any presentation that I'm doing because I would like people to see where we are from a worldwide platform. You can see UK's hovering just slightly above that, but if you look at Japan, Germany and the United States, you can see clearly that Scotland and the UK need to invest in our future. And I can see from a contribution standpoint what we can do what AMU can do for businesses in Scotland from an information automating that information, and I'll take you through that process of taking it down to a really simple level so that you understand how simple it can be to start on this process. So what do we mean by digitisation? And digitisation is effectively converting the information in a physical form to a computer format. We all basically know that. And you use the system and you digitally file it. So it's usually in the cloud somewhere, or you get to it in some sort of server, which is effectively the same as a cloud, but just held locally. And then you can take your hard copies of invoices and you can store them in a digital location. So why would you digitize your business? Now, so effectively, you can save up to 92% of time within the finance function by going through an automation process and optically reading and optically posting and having things set up. And it saves it can save a significant amount of time, so it can move you into a space of where you're saying, okay, well, there's the information, and what can we do with that information so that you could be looking into the future and effectively own your own future and have more clarity of what decisions you actually make. I mean, it's clear from COVID that from an accessibility standpoint, we can be anywhere in the world and access our data in the cloud. We also gain confidence if we digitize our business, because most of it is automated, so the accuracy of that information gives you that confidence in order to say, okay, my information is correct. What decisions can I make? So it's just very, very simple. Obviously, improves your cash flow as well through automation of your collections. There's a whole sort of systems around that. What we've got is very easy to digitize. Now we can take a client, any size of client, say from Sage to a Zero platform is the platform that we use at the moment, and we can turn that around, give them 2 years of data, back data, and turn that around in a few hours. So the transition to the cloud-based system, it can be done in a matter of hours, and all routine tasks. So the bookkeepers that you've got and the finance people that you've got, most of the routine tasks can be automated, as I've alluded to, and we can do simple training in that area as well, because the systems that you've got in the cloud, they're very intuitive. They're not made for accountants or for bookkeepers. They're made for people, arty people, and you know, building people. So it's made for all types of people. They're not geared towards, where Sage, if you look at it, is more geared towards sort of the finance and more analytical mind. So the training program, you know, it could take years to learn Sage, but with someone like Xero and QuickBooks, a couple of half-hour sessions, and you really just embrace it. And most of the people, well, all of the people that we have taken from a more traditional legacy system into a cloud system, they love it. They absolutely love the system and they dance with it. So what tasks can you digitize? We start at a very, very basic level, and this is really only the basic ball of information that we start with. We can automate your sales invoices raised, automatically send them to customers, and also your payments and collection process through Go Cardless, Stripe and PayPal. I'm sure that you've all heard of these systems, and it's just an automatic process and flow of systemic types of emails and reminders that and it operates in the background and works for you when you're not working effectively. So what else can you digitize is the purchase invoice side of things. So what we've got is that we've put systems in place that speak to Xero and QuickBooks, that fetch the data, that pull the data, optically read it, and it's optically read and then just flows into the system itself. The bank statement's the same, it comes in, you just go, okay, 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 it intuitively matches. So all your bank's transactions, invoices and receipts are intuitively matched and posted. So all of this data input and manual printing off and all this is all taken care of in the system, and it's a breath of fresh air. What we've also got, so you can go beyond, you know, the finance system itself, And with assignments, you can go system automation, routine tasks, your EPOS system. We've got clients where all of the sales just come straight in through into Xero or into QuickBooks through their EPOS system, stock system, project management systems like Workflow Max. Integration is key because that reduces your time and your costs associated with it. These are some, so you've got, if you use this as an example of what you can integrate and what you can automate within a business itself, you've got Xero in the middle, and these are just some of the integrated packages that we can have. We use Futurely at the moment, which is a really visual, wonderful, all dancing visual. It takes it away. So if you see a P&L or you see a balance sheet, you know, a lot of people just go, oh, it just gives you graphs and brings in non-financial information. So it's a good platform in order to present online to clients. And we use that one. And Float is one where you can, from a cash flow standpoint. HubDoc is amazing. We've got some videos. This is a shorter digitization that we normally do for clients when they're looking at digitization, but I will save the presentation and I'll have more videos, because HubDoc, basically, it can take your invoices automatically, say from a vendor or supplier, like O2, automatically pulls it in the background, and it posts it straight into your accounts. And then all that needs to happen is a payment. Well, it comes off in direct debit. So it's almost starting on that sort of blockchain element of things, where it just automatically happens. Then you've got EPOS now, you've got Tidy Stock, you've got Go Cardless, which is a payment system, a stock system, and again, an EPOS system. So this really just gives you an understanding of how this ball of information and how it can start integrating in the cloud. So digitization does open doors, and I love using the analogy, a ball of information, because that's where your starting point is. And this is what we want to start with, digitization, and create that accurate ball of information, save you an amazing amount of time, where you can go in and you can start to understand what's driving your business, what your gross margins are, how your people are doing, and move your business forward into the future. The takeaways from today, digitization of your business saves you time and money. It's very simple and very quick to automate it with the right expertise to help you along that way. You can process up to 92% of your bookkeeping become digitized from a data collection and processing standpoint. And one of the things that's really close to my heart is that as UK and Scottish business owners, we need to be aware of the investment. We need to invest in business information and move that information forward, go beyond the basics and create real value and make informed decisions within your business. And so digitize today, and thank you very much for listening.
Great, thank you, Jane. Bang on time as well, which is super. The biggest benefit I can see there, just while people are thinking of questions or want to ask questions, is this freeing up of time. Have you got any examples of what, the clients that have managed to find this extra time through automation? What do they do with that time? Or have you got any suggestions what they might do with that time?
Well, what they do with that time is, they've obviously got people that are involved in pulling that information together, so that these people can sit and they can actually look at the information. So instead of sitting in the transactional and spending all that time in the transactional, they move into a space where they can say, okay, well, this is what we've got, where are we going to? So it gives them clarity of, looking at various options, and gives them choices to move their business forward. And that's what we do with all the clients, because you can go into some clients and you can see there's paper everywhere, and that there's still, and we are a way behind from a Scottish and a UK standpoint, particularly in the finance function. And it's really about embracing the transaction, get the transactions. And one of the things that I would like to say as well is that most compliance accountants that are out there, they get about anything from 10 to 30% of their revenue through bookkeeping. So there's this fundamental shift from the accounting sector standpoint where we need to, the revenue from bookkeeping, that's not what it's about. It's about getting the information to help these businesses to move into the space where they can start making decisions on the information. And I hope that helps.
Yeah, good. And following on from that is why is there a reluctance to automate? There seems to be, as you mentioned there, we're way behind. Why is it that business owners don't? In your experience,
I think they just not understanding the benefits. Once a client understands the benefits and they see that visual, that what they potentially could do to automate that and use the resources elsewhere within the business to help the business move on, it's all about the benefits and having that and being clear what these actually are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Anyone I want to come in and ask Jean a question or make a comment, just stick your hand up and Jackie will get you unmuted. No?
Jim, I think the only thing I was going to add to your why people don't change, I think it's just fundamental. People don't like change. And quite often people are, I'm fine with what I do. And they always think that first part of it is going to be a huge, massive time burden on them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, sometimes the first time is a time burden. But if they invest the time, they'll get it back spades over going forward.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're right. I mean, there's a whole session on what you should be looking at and what you should be measuring within your business. And we still hear too many examples of people just looking in the bank at the end of the month and seeing if there's cash there, and if there is cash there, they've had a good month. If there's no cash there, they've not had a good month. So it's getting ahead of the curve, finding out what is the useful information that you need, and I think that automation, as Jane's addressed, is a good way of providing that information. So. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, one more. I've just got a wee comment. It's very relevant to what we're looking at in our own business. It's a real frustration of ours that financial planning, the financial services sector, despite all the money sloshing about with these big companies, isn't more digitally enabled. Something we're looking at, and it's not from, yes, there's the using the tools that Jane's talking about can really help you understand your business and manage it better, but there also is that where we have to all look at our own businesses and the digital journey for our customers, for our clients, because that is the expectation. And if you look at any of the research, if you go back down the kind of demographic scale and look at the engagement in digital solutions in those kind of 25 to 45, it is huge. And we will all have to move our businesses in line with that to different degrees. It's a huge, and as Jane says, I think in the UK particularly, some of our colleagues in financial planning in the States are miles ahead. We're actually taking the lead. We're now taking our lead from them rather than looking closer to them.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, thanks, Adrian. And David Petrie, yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a fear of change. People often say, and I still hear it myself, we've always done it that way. And I guess it's on, the onus is on us, and as Jane says, to ensure people really see the benefits, not just the features and the bells and the whistles of what's going on with automation, but the real benefits to them and to their business of automation. And then it's, you need a little bit of knowledge and expertise around change management, I suppose, to get that